Obviously, every team is different, every season is different, but what do you think this group needs from you in terms of your leadership style, and how's that process figuring that out been for you?
It's not a perfect science. It's just do what you feel is necessary to be consistent, not get caught up in the emotions of the season, be available. That's been the hardest part about this last week and a half. It's tough when you're not out there. That's part of what I can bring to the team, obviously, but vocally and whether it's calling out things or having animated moments during the timeout or one-on-one conversations, whatever it is, it's just you got to do what's necessary to get through each day, each week, each game, and understand what the goal is of just trying to get better across the board. And it takes a lot of effort to do that.
And Kavan mentioned that you talked to the team after the game the other night. What prompted you to speak up in that moment?
We're on a losing streak.
You just felt like it was time.
Yeah, it's just a feel.
Hey, Steph. I know you've been described as kind of like a lead by example guy. When did you start to feel like maybe you needed to be a little bit more vocal? And how has that process been? Was there anyone that you've kind of learned from in that respect, or any mentors or older teammates you've had early in your career that have helped you with that process?
It's kind of a collection of everybody and everything that I've seen. Just kind of taking bits and pieces of wisdom and knowledge and experience from that standpoint. But at the end of the day, I can only be myself, and that's kind of what I kind of trying to hint to earlier when I was talking about it's just a feel thing. There's no it's not like I have a syllabus for the year and you hit your checkpoints. All right, I got to start talking about this. All right, I got to start talking about this. It's just a feel of what's happening. Trying to be proactive, I guess, in terms of, especially with a lot of young guys who are trying to develop. Like sometimes they're not going to ask questions. You can go, give them what they need to hear. But for the most part, it's just I care about winning. I care about every guy in the locker room, and that comes out naturally as you go through a season.
What version of a moment do you think this is for you in this season, and what do you still think this team can accomplish this season?
I'm just trying to get a win tonight, and again, feel good about ourselves. Again, I think it's weird because everything's super overanalyzed as it probably should be. Just understanding where we're trying to go. But 3 games ago, we were 4 minutes away from beating the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference and lost it down the stretch after a spirited comeback. And then we had 2 tough games, which we thought were winnable. And that's kind of a deflating outcome. But right now we have 26 games, whatever it is, and Coach has been saying it. We're primed to go on a run. I think we believe it. We just have to. That's the first step. You have to believe it, but then the second step is the confidence to walk out in the court and prove it and execute. And tonight, hopefully we can get that done. Go on a road trip and continue to build momentum. But it all goes back to just focusing on the little things that develop winning attitudes and winning. That winning spirit, and our competitiveness and our energy has to get better across the board if we're going to do that. And at the end of the day, we can say all the right things. You got to go out and show it.
You guys are now, I think, 6 games back of the number 6 seed that you guys really wanted to get to. Based on what you observed while you were down, what are the 3 or 4 things, or 2 or 3 things you guys feel like you have to do to be able to make that jump?
I mean, it's defensively, we can't give up 120, 130 points every night and expect to just outscore people. We're not that type of team, and our strength is our athleticism, our length, quickness around the perimeter. Obviously, Draymond and his legendary defensive presence. I think there's there has to be a sense of pride and fight on that end, and we've shown it. It's not like it hasn't been there, for the majority of the season. We just lost it a little bit, since the break. But we get that back. That fuels everything. That fuels energy. That fuels, the transition into the other side of the ball on the offensive end. Everybody feels involved. You start to, see other teams feel you and get uncomfortable, and that for us is what's going to give us an edge to then control games and put a streak together. So it's just effort, energy, and collective will to get back to that defensive, execution that we're used to, and then offensively, obviously, I hope to bring what I bring to the court and that's how we build. We have an offense that's predicated on ball movement, on a lot of tension that I get, and I think blending that with everybody being aggressive as they should, that's something that will carry us. So I'm just excited to hopefully get back out there and help out.
Thank you,
Steve. For most of this season, you guys have been, top 10 defensively. I think you were 5 or 6. But the last few games without Steph, it's dipped a lot. How much of that is disposition, or is there a way to figure that out as you try and correct it?
I think it has to do a little bit with our spirit. The last 2 games were really tough for us. We just did not have the energy and the spirit that it takes to play great defense in this league. You have to cover so much ground these days with all the 3-point shooting. So it requires tremendous effort. And to me, we looked tired and we looked like we lost some confidence at that end. So it happens periodically in the NBA. And the key, if you're going to be a good team, is you can't let that stuff snowball on you. So we need to bounce back and have a really good defensive effort tonight, and get back to our more consistent ways at that end of the floor.
James, probably an obvious answer, but how much can winning do for the confidence, especially coming off a 4-game losing streak, and things can snowball, and players are impressionable and can get down on themselves? How much does just a win do for your guys' confidence and spirits?
Jason, really, the winning part is very vital for our team because it just boosts the endurance on our team and just the awareness and just really the competitiveness to just go out there every night and just put it out on the floor for all of us. So just go out there and just play together, and that just give us momentum to just keep going in the next game. So when we get on the road, then we'll have a lot of momentum and confidence within ourselves.